In today's video, we're going to look at different types of charts and graphs that you might see in writing task 1 of the IELTS exam. And we're going to start with the line graph. First, let's talk about the different parts of the line graph. So the bottom line, the line that goes horizontally, is called the x-axis. And the line that goes up and down on the left is called the y-axis. And in the center of the graph, you have the line itself. And with the line graph, it's easy to see how things change over time, or how things increase and decrease. Often on the x-axis, you're going to see years or months or weeks. And as you can see, you can have a line graph with one line or with 2, 3, 4, or 5 different lines on them. And if you look at the graph on the left, we're going to look at the same data, but in a different type of graph that you might see. And this graph is called the bar graph. So it's similar to the line graph in several ways. It also has an x-axis and a y-axis, but instead of a line, you see it has what we call bars. So these have 8 bars instead of the line. But like the line graph, you can see easily, even without looking at the numbers on the left, on the y-axis, which bars are bigger than the others, how things have changed over time. So it's easy to see patterns in this type of graph as well. Another type of bar graph that you might see has 2, 3, or 4 bars together. Okay, like the line graphs that have different lines on them. And our next type of graph is called a pie chart. And with a pie chart, we're looking at parts of a whole. So in the pie chart, you have a circle, and you're looking at the different parts of the circle. The different parts are called slices. So this pie chart here has 4 slices, and you can see that they're represented in different colors. And to the right of the pie chart, we have a legend, which shows us what the different colors represent. So you can see which parts of the chart are bigger than the others. And oftentimes in a pie chart, you might see percentages. So it's important to be able to write about numbers and about percentages. And another chart that you might see is called a table. And you can see right away that the table is only numbers. So you don't have a visual representation of the data like you do in the line graph or a bar graph or the pie chart. You on your own have to really look at the numbers and analyze them on your own. And another thing you might see is called a process. In a process, you can have a cycle or a flow chart, for example. Here's a life cycle of a jellyfish. And in the cycles and the flow charts, you're going to notice arrows. So here there are red arrows showing you the direction of the process. And what you'd have to do is first figure out where the cycle begins, what comes next, and how it ends or starts again. And you might also see, like I said, a flow chart. So here's an example of a flow chart. Here the beginning is clear, and you also have these arrows showing you the different directions. And with a process, it's really important to practice sequence transitions, like first, then, later, finally, in order to organize the cycle or the process. Now, if you want more practice with analyzing graphs, there is a magazine called The Economist, and every day on their website they have a different chart. And some of the charts are very complicated and they're like nothing that you would see in the IELTS exam, but they do have bar graphs and line graphs and pie charts and tables. And the graph is also accompanied by an article. And the article is not a summary of the graph like you would do on the exam, but it does use the language of graphs. And so if you practice reading the articles, you can be more familiar with the language of the graphs. So I hope that has been helpful to you, and good luck on your exam.